Welcome to the Out Loud podcast. My name is John.
And I'm Brian. And this is the podcast where we try not to be too charming, too witty, or too smart. So basically, just kind of be ourselves.
Oh my God, coming from Prince Charming like you.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right, let's roll the intro music.
Open up your mind. Tell me where you want to be. Tell me what you need from me.
Brian, we are back on the pod after a week off.
We are.
Yeah.
Yes, we were trying to get it together, but when we're not together, it's hard to get it together.
We can't keep anything together when we're not together. Do you get it?
I get it. And I'll be, again, like I tell people all the time, John's up on my screen up in here in the corner. So I'll just, if you see me looking at that, it's just because I want to look at him.
Yes, YouTubians, if you're watching this, Brian is down here, or if you're podcasting, we are, or if you're listening to the podcast,
could care less.
If you're listening, you don't even care, but we are 300-ish miles away. Although that is changing next week because I have a week off. Brian and I are doing...
Yay! Fort Lauderdale.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Sorry about the drum
You're
roll.
rolling the drum roll, but it's okay because Fort Lauderdale doesn't really even need a drum roll. It's just so epic. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get away.
Yeah, we're very excited.
Travel
So,
ahead.
perfect little segue because I say we talk about travel today.
This week's topic is about travel. And
Some gay travel, some travel. I guess when you travel, if you're gay, it's gay travel.
that's how it works. So I have a story here that cruise lines, they are requiring people, well, not all the cruise lines, but most cruise lines are requiring people to be vaccinated. And I wanted to ask you, Bri, do you think that this is going to be like a standard? Like you're going to have proof?
I think it might be a standard for a lot of different places.
I mean, it's probably a good idea.
They gave us vaccination cards, so what is that? Why did we have them then?
I know.
I think you might have to start using them. And I don't think it's a bad idea. I definitely want to feel safer when I'm starting to travel. So
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just going to be hard to enforce, but yeah, I mean, we're vaccinated. Yay, we're fully
Yay.
vaccinated, and we're going is it's gay owned, right? Where we're staying in Fort Lauderdale.
it is.
Yeah, and
Gay
most
owned
places
and operated.
most places we go to are gay owned, just simply because, well, we like giving back to the gays, and we feel more welcome there.
Yeah, and it's not like we haven't stayed at other places, but I want to give support to people that support our community. It's just if someone says it's a gay friendly resort or whatever, and they specifically say that, yeah, and I like the resort, right. I'll spend some money and stay there. Like when we went to Puerto Vallarta, we
PB.
stayed. We did a all-inclusive, thing at a Hilton, and it was fine. But I think John, has another.
Puerto Vallarta.
We both have the same view.
Well, it was just very touristy, very cookie cutter, where it was down in the where everything was separated from the real culture in the downtown area, right? I mean, once you were separated, it was all the same things. But if you go down into the Zona Romantica in Puerto Vallarta, which is absolutely
Don't you love how he says it? Say that again.
La Zona
please.
Romantica.
Oh.
Es linda, sí. Es fabuloso.
Sí.
I will say Brian's Spanish is pretty on point. Whenever we were getting a taxi or had to settle the bill or whatever, he was on it.
Well, I'll tell you, I started again.
Did you?
With my Pimsleur Spanish, 20 minutes a day. Just I lay on the couch and listen to it.
Well, yeah. Puerto Vallarta.
As we digress.
We digress. But Puerto Vallarta was fun. It was too cookie cutter outside of. It's a very gay friendly area. The Mantamar beach resort there is super gay. I mean, just the whole area. Yeah. They have a good drag scene as well.
Yeah, and they're part of the Mantamar, or Mantamar, however you want to say it. That beach club was the Almar Resort, which is this beautiful. Remember, we took a tour of that place.
Gorgeous.
It's this beautiful LGBTQ plus resort, so I would say it's straight friendly. So because I'm sure who knows if straight people, but it's if you stay at the hotel, you can use the beach club as part of it. And so then we wouldn't even go back at night. We would go out to dinner, and we'd spend $35, have a couple margaritas, great food, great chips, fresh salsa, guacamole, and like it was so inexpensive.
So affordable. Oh my gosh. So you know what, Bri? Speaking of affordable, I saw this story. I guess because travel industry has died because of COVID, right? I mean, all of the hospitality travel, they're dead. So there's this country, Malta. I don't know if it was one specific like company or something, but Malta is paying people to come and visit them. Like they're literally paying tourists to come and travel there.
That would, all right. I guess our next trip is Malta.
Malta. I don't really even know what Malta does.
Malta milk balls.
You know the way to my heart, good sir.
Yes. Okay, so as we start to travel again, there are some destinations that aren't really gay friendly. I'm just going to do a list. I'm not going to talk about them in depth, but these are 20 of the most dangerous places for LGBTQ plus travelers, and the punishments ranges anywhere from lashes to floggings to imprisonment and even the.
See, I thought you were going in a very fun direction.
No, I wasn't going. No, even the death penalty in some of these. So let's just go through it real quick. And there were a couple surprises to me. Some I was like, well, I kind of get it, but so it's Nigeria, Qatar, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, Tanzania.
That's where they keep the Tanzanian devil, right?
No, that's Tasmania. That's why I got stumbled. Iran, Sudan, Barbados, which I thought, because I think Barbados was a British owned, a British occupied, so I still think, I don't know. So I was surprised at that. Malaysia, Malawi, Zambia, St. Lucia.
This is an awful long list.
It's 20.
You said they're dangerous?
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
Uganda, Pakistan, the West Bank and Gaza, Kenya. This was a shocker for me.
Kenya?
Because I've always wanted to go to, the Maldives.
Oh, the beautiful.
But I think if you're on the resort, it's not like, they're going to do something.
I feel like that's
Jamaica,
that's anywhere
I knew.
you go, I think. Even if they're anti-LGBT, it's all about where you are.
Yeah. Jamaica, which I kind of knew. Ethiopia and Egypt. So those are just ones, and you can look it up online. If you and your partner or friends want to go, you're like, oh, let's go to the Maldives. Well, you probably can.
Well, I mean definitely,
use your best judgment.
definitely plan first. And there was that cool show with Ellen Page, Gaycation, that Gaycation show where they went to all different.
Yeah.
I bet you a couple of these they went to. I'm actually almost certain that they went to Jamaica. But
yeah, I think they did. I've been to Jamaica, and it's what you do.
But
you just have to be careful anywhere.
Well, you know what, honey? I want to go places where I'm accepted, and I just want to have fun.
All right. Well, let's do that then. So according to Lonely Planet, these are the most gay-friendly places on Earth, and of course I added a couple. So we have Copenhagen, Denmark. It's actually home to Europe's oldest openly gay bar. It's over 100 years old, which is amazing.
That's awesome.
And they were the first nation in the world to recognize same-sex marriage in 1989. Awesome. New Zealand, and this is the first nation to adopt the gay and lesbian friendly term when referring to business or travel accommodations.
like a safe zone type of thing.
Yeah, but
Cool.
it says it in their description. So
Yeah.
If you put it in there, hopefully they abide by
Yay.
it. Toronto, love Toronto. Been there a couple times. Hands down, most progressive in the Americas as far as for the gay community.
Why haven't we gone there?
Well, because we like to go someplace warm usually.
That's true.
And it's not that it's not warm in the summer.
I would
We can
totally
go up there in the summer.
totally check it out.
Yeah, no, it's a nice drive. Palm Springs, love Palm Springs, largest volume of male and female only accommodations in the world, and many are clothing optional.
Oh,
Woohoo!
that's right up my alley. Thank you.
And they also host the world's largest lesbian event called the Dinah, after Dinah Shore.
The
who
Dinah.
You'll have no idea who she is.
Well, I'm laughing at the
So,
spelling of that. Dinah.
That's her name,
Yeah.
Dinah Shore. It's a woman's name.
That's awesome.
So, Sitges, is that how you say it? Sitges? Sitges, Spain. It's one of Europe's biggest destinations for LGBT.
Well, we ran into
plus
some
travelers.
last time we were in Key West, and they spoke to the pride in Sitges and how just jaw-dropping.
It was
and
a straight
fabulous
straight
it was.
couple.
So, yeah.
Berlin, Germany. Not a big surprise. Vibrant and inclusive gay history since the 20s. As I say, they said that like when I read it, but I'm like, wasn't there a little bump in the road in 1940 during World War II when they were corralling everybody up?
That bump in the road was a wall.
Yeah, kind
That was a wall.
And get this. There's no closing time in Berlin clubs.
No closing time. Whoa. So there's no last
So
call.
you and I, when we wake up at 5 a.m, we could just go clubbing.
Perfect.
Then, and then everyone would be tweaked out of their minds.
Because who doesn't need a vodka tonic
So-
at 9 a.m.?
I
know.
9 a.m. Mykonos, and I'm gonna say it wrong. Skiathos.
Oh, Greece.
Skiathos, I had never heard of. Since the 70s, it's been a great gay destination. Mykonos, I think, is more popular. The other one they say is less hedonistic, but just as beautiful. So I would actually like to try that someday. New York City, that's a given.
Yeah, and you know what's bad?
gay-
You know what's really bad? I haven't really even been to New York City yet.
Yeah,
It's so
I
crazy
don't-
because I've lived
I
north
know,
of
we'll
it,
go-
lived south of it, and just never
We'll go for a weekend.
driven
We'll
through
go
it.
for a
Oh,
weekend.
and look at that! I didn't even realize you're wearing a New York City shirt. Hey,
I am New York City.
the Big Apple. I'm my big man.
Yeah. So like very gay, like the West Side. I actually used to live up on the West Side. Chelsea, Hell's Kitchen.
Yes, darling.
They offer a ton of gay friendly. What?
It was just the way you said it. I lived on the west side. I was like,
Well,
yes,
no,
darling.
I'm just reading. Oh, and in this one I'll say wrong. Reykjavik, Iceland.
Reykjavik. No. My tongue is tied.
Reykjavik. They said it's described as one of the most friendly and most inclusive place on earth.
Yay.
In 2006, same-sex couples were granted the equal rights with their heterosexual counterparts without limitations.
So hold on. Iceland is like green, and Greenland is ice. That's how it goes, right? So Iceland is like pretty.
Well, I'm sure Greenland's pretty.
Well, I
too.
just want to say, because I would hope that this.
They have like Iceland has all the hot springs.
Well,
and,
I'm just saying, if the most inclusive place on Earth is this barren Iceland, there's no one wants
I'm
to
sure
go
it's
anyway.
I'm sure there's something.
I hope it's
And
beautiful.
I mean, there must be gay people because they made in 2006 they have they granted equal rights. Okay, Montevideo, Uruguay. Random, but who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew?
Smallest Montevideo.
One of the smallest countries in South America. Homosexuality was decriminalized in 1934.
You know what's
So
interesting?
they're
When I
like
think South America, I definitely don't think progressive LGBTQ rights.
Well, it says although they are progressive, they to for LGBT rights and stuff, like public displays of affection aren't advised. But I think that you kind of have to read the room, no matter where you are.
No, Brian.
No matter where you
we
are.
can't go to Uruguay because you can't keep your hands off of me.
Here, you're right. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. So,
Back.
so that was like the top 10 they had. But then I'm like,
Who's they?
Okay,
I'm sorry. Who was this from?
Lonely Planet.
Okay,
Lonely Planet.
Cool.
But my faves kind of weren't on the list. I guess I guess there's all probably criteria that means to think. Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Well, Brian, it's because you're a walking, talking cliche.
I guess I must.
Where's
be.
your iced
Key
coffee?
West, Key West, San Francisco, in Provincetown. Like
Those
they
are
can't be.
no, those are classics. Yes, I totally. Where are those
Yes.
on the list?
Yeah. Well, they're on my list. They're 11. They're number 11.
Lonely Planet.
But how are we gonna get there? So this is
How are we
so
gonna get where?
these are all great places, but how are we gonna get to any of these places?
What are you gonna do for
we
me?
have to buy some airline tickets.
Oh, and
So-
are you gonna tell me how?
I am.
Is this sounding like a terrible infomercial?
Well, no. I mean, it's more.
Act now and figure out how to find your airline tickets for the cheapest price. Coming from Brian and John.
Thank you. And this was an article, which one of my favorite emails I get is from the penny hoarder. So they always try to do like all different ways to save money. So cheapair.com, which I usually don't use, but they do this annual study every year on like airfares, and like they do like research 120,000 airfares. So, it says right here, they analyzed 917 million airfares to figure out the algorithms of, the best time to buy and whatever. So they said the sweet spot for travelers to get the best deals on domestic flights is to buy it between 3 weeks and 3 months.
3 weeks, 3 months.
Obviously, under 3 weeks, you're going to start paying a premium. You're going to go up 50, 70, 80 bucks. And I think sometimes if you book it out longer, you don't save as much as people think. So what day you buy your ticket doesn't matter, but the day you fly is what matters. So the cheapest day to fly out is a Tuesday or Wednesday. Well, I guess it does matter, I guess, on the day you leave or return. The cheapest day to fly, like I said, is a Tuesday or Wednesday, where you'll save an average of about 85 bucks. And the most expensive day to fly is Sunday. And of course, when are we flying? Sunday. But that's our schedule. So.
Well, what about this? Well, listen. What about this? How about airlines start doing a fly anywhere? Like, you don't know where you're going, but here's because I think that, travel is very, very important. I just saw, oh goodness, who was this? It was someone who gave us a lecture at school, commenting how her grandmother really opened her eyes to the world and to culture, and she was a professor of diversity, I believe. And because she traveled all the time with her grandmother, and she's like, travel is very important. It lets you see different cultures and do all these awesome things. So
It's really important.
this is what I'm thinking, right? After this pandemic, if these flights, airlines are smart, this is what they should do. You ready, Brian?
All right.
I'm thinking,
I am all ears.
I'm thinking this is what it is. You get a round trip ticket, but you don't know where you're going. And it's like, let's say it's like $49. It's like super cheap.
Right.
You have no idea where it's going. What do you think about that?
So, I think it might pose some problems, but you can do that. And I'm going to tell this story that sounds so pretentious, but it's really not. It's really not. I was on a shoot for work, and this was when I was working for one of the cruise lines doing all their advertising, and I was shooting something in the Caribbean, a TV spot in the Caribbean, and then we were flying to Copenhagen, which I loved actually, and it is number 1 on that list. So I had 2 different suitcases because it was October. So October in Copenhagen is a lot different than October in St. Martin. But the thing is, it's like we were gone for 10 or 2 weeks, like almost at each. So it wasn't like I didn't want a giant suitcase. So anyways, we get to Copenhagen, and I get off the plane in shorts and I remember it was a green shirt. Isn't that weird? It was a green button shirt. And they lose my luggage that had all my fall and winter stuff in it.
Oh, poor man.
So what I'm saying is, what if my $49 airfare, and I'm flying out of Boston, goes to Antarctica?
That's part of the journey. You have to be packed and ready to know that you might be going anywhere. You need to, pack a parka, and you need...
I guess pack, Paca paca.
Paca.
So paca paca.
So you wouldn't do
That's
it?
how
The
you
like
say it in
fly
Boston.
anywhere tickets?
No, of course I do it. Of
course you
Of
would.
course I do it.
All right. What?
Because there has to be a store where I'm going, so
Plus it's
I
just
could buy a
right. It's
long
just
sleeve T-shirt somewhere.
it's just an awesome story. Like, oh yeah,
No,
I had
it's
no
an
idea.
adventure.
Yes. What about so
Maybe they don't even tell you until you
until
land,
you land, and then
where
it goes
you are,
ding. Attention
and
passengers.
then everyone claps.
The
I
local
don't get
time is
that.
5:14
that.
p.m. and you have now arrived in blah 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 blah.
You now
That'd be so
arrived
cool.
in.
That'd be so cool.
Arrived. It would be. I'd like, and it would be awesome to do that, like kind of in Europe, because everything is like
You're right. Yeah, you can go
an
anywhere.
hour away from everywhere.
Right.
You could be in Italy in the afternoon, in France, that night. Oh, it's amazing.
These like unique.
Okay.
So I'm obsessed with these like unique travel things now. So I saw this story about Dan Aykroyd, and he's gonna be. I love Dan Aykroyd. Just love.
Love Dan.
He's just awesome. Oh my gosh, so funny. Yeah. He'll be narrating a new Travel Channel show, Hotel Paranormal, and oh my god,
I like
would you
that
ever?
stuff.
Would you ever stay in a haunted house? Would like know it?
Yes.
You know it really.
Yes, of course I would.
I honestly thought you would be way too chicken to do that. Way too chicken.
Please, you're the one who's the jumpy.
You're
one.
not even the dark meat, girl. Like you're just all breast. You're all chicken breast.
What are you talking about?
There's no
I'm
way.
not. I go.
Wow.
Well,
I don't know.
You would?
I don't know. I had a weird experience one time, like back when I was
Plus,
younger, man.
Because the thing is,
I don't
as
know.
I say it, and I'm sure we'd even get cards and letters coming in. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in
Oh,
ghosts.
look at him. So you want to go to challenge your beliefs, is what you're saying.
Yes, because I want a ghost to like move something. Though of course I was sitting in the living room the other day, and I turned, and it was two different times because I thought someone was standing there. I was like, that was freaky.
Getting a little jumpy, huh?
So,
All right. What about well, haunted for me is out. So but I would do it with you. However, I have not.
yeah, of course.
I have
I
another
wouldn't do it by myself. No, I draw the line there.
another question for you.
Okay.
Would you stay in a tiny house? Like that's a big thing now. Tiny house this, tiny house that. People are doing like tiny house renovations and all this stuff. Would you ever stay?
Yeah, I think yes, because I think some of them. Oh my God, some of them are adorable.
But what? Okay, hold
some of
on.
them look so
Here's my
good.
gripe with that. You had said before, and I'm putting you on the hot seat here, that you would never stay in a place that is not as good or better than where you currently live.
It doesn't mean that tiny house is not gonna be. Just it's not always about size, John. All right.
I'm just saying, the first time you roll over and hit your funny bone off of the corner of something.
Well, wait. Like I think you're gonna ask me another question, and then we can discuss
well,
this
yeah.
one
The
even
next
more.
The next thing is staying in a tent. Would you ever stay in a tent? And I know we did it
Yeah.
once, but that what doesn't really count.
Why doesn't it? It was seriously that it was a 2-man tent, but technically wasn't it a 4-man?
It was technically a
And I'm
4-man tent. We stayed one night, and it was a nice night. It was up in a camping area in Pennsylvania, and this was
We had an air mattress.
a little air
and-
mattress, but it doesn't really count. I'm saying because I don't know. We didn't really even plan to
Right.
do.
You-
It was just
you- wait.
so last second.
And again, you know me, my idea of camping. The only stars I want to sleep under are 5 stars.
It's so funny. Like I think every story you've said on this pod so far has. I don't want to sound pretentious, but like that's how it
I
started.
know, isn't it? But it's like, and it was never any of my money. It was always work money. I never could afford any of those trips.
You're gonna fly me there free,
So.
honey. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So how many of those places have you been to? So you've been to Copenhagen, New Zealand,
No,
now
I
Toronto,
haven't been. Yes,
Palm Springs.
yes.
I totally want to go to Palm Springs. I am all
You
about
do.
it.
It's-
We need to get
it's
there.
awesome.
We need to get
Yep.
there, babe.
Yep.
Sitges definitely is on the list, but
That's
I've
on
never
our
been
list.
there.
Yep.
Spain in general is on my bucket list.
Oh my God, Spain! Like I've been to Barcelona.
Barcelona.
And like I shot in Barcelona.
Oh, caliente. Berlin, Germany. I've never been to The only
No.
country I've been to is Costa Rica. Pura vida, Costa Rica. Hola. And I'd love to just continue traveling. So any of these places,
That's all we have
but
to do. Yeah.
Greece. You've been to
Mykonos,
Greece,
I
though.
love. Yeah, I've been to Mykonos. I've been to Santorini. Been to New York. Haven't been to Iceland. Haven't been to Uruguay.
Yeah.
And my favorites: Fort Lauderdale, yes. Key West, yes. San Fran, yes. P-Town, yes.
And you know what's great is, I mean, there's so many like gay travelers out there now. There's actually a channel that I follow, Take Time to Travel. They're pretty new on YouTube, but I love watching their stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's
good.
other guys out there. What is it? Nomad Boys.
Nomad Boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so there's definitely a good amount of motivation and spark out there in social media sphere to figure out where your next gay travel location is going to be.
Yeah.
And Brian, we
Yes.
are looking for new places to travel. Diamond in the rough sort of places, or things that are not out and on these popular websites, or that people are saying to come and visit. So where are your favorite places?
We love to go anywhere.
Yeah, please.
you know.
If you're listening to this, we want to know where your favorite travel locations are, and
Yeah.
we want to come. I mean, like one of the things Brian and I are super excited for is in Fort Lauderdale coming up. We're gonna make some videos. We're gonna meet some new people, listeners
Yep.
to the pod and the YouTube. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Brian and I were talking that eventually we're gonna be out in public, and not like we're any sort of big deal at all.
At all.
But we're gonna be out in public or at the gym or something, and someone's gonna recognize us just organically and off the cuff, and they're gonna come say, "Oh, I know you got," and we're sorry, guys, we're gonna have to underwhelm you. We're not that interesting.
but it will be like probably one of the best days of my life when someone like actually recognizes, and I'm like, what? No, that's not me.
I know, we're gonna walk away being, "Oh, this is awesome," and then the other people are gonna be walking around saying, "Oh, that's it, that's them."
Yeah, it's like, oh, jeez, that was a letdown.
Yeah.
Wah, wah. So, should we talk about what's going to be upcoming in podcast 5?
Oh, Brian, I love the way you think. I love it. I love it. I love it. We're gonna do a new segment called Fab or Flop.
Ooh, I'm excited.
And just honestly, I'm not gonna describe it, so you're gonna have to stay tuned, figure it out.
Yeah, quick and fun, in and out.
Thank you to Nearly York for letting us use their song "Take You There" as the intro and outro of our podcast. Go check out their music
Love them.
on Spotify.
And don't forget to email us any of your comments, questions, concerns. You guys, we're loving the emails we're getting, so keeping them coming. It's outloudjb@gmail.com. The J is for John, the B is for Brian. So it's outloudjb@gmail.com.
And if you pretty please would, head on over to Apple Podcasts, give us a quick review, go over on YouTube, search Jonathan Lucero McKinney, and find us. Give us a subscribe.
And subscribe if you haven't.
That'd be pretty
Yes,
cool.
like us. That really helps us a lot.
Yay. So, where your travels next, please let us know. And until next time, we hope to see you in the next one.
Where you